Sengoku 1 was an ambitious Neo-Geo title that broke new ground for beat-em-ups, but it fell short of greatness due to an enormous lack of polish. But you know what they say, you can't learn anything if you never make mistakes. Sengoku's superb visuals held enough attention to make it decently successful, spurring SNK to take a second shot at making a time-twisted Tussle. By the gods, we're lucky they did! In the 2-year gap between prequel to sequel, SNK must have studied the best aspects of Capcom beat-em-ups, as this is the turning point when Sengoku's execution matched its delightfully outlandish ideas, making Sengoku 2 a lofty pillar of what experienced game developers could accomplish with the Neo-Geo, and quite possibly one of the best beat-em-ups of the 1990s. Am I over-exaggerating? I'll do a deep cut into all the overhauls and let you make up your mind when I'm through. The swordplay is served well done, seasoned with spicier visuals. The meal is more important than the add-ons, so we'll start with the main course and talk about the graphics later. The most important gameplay overhaul lies within the basic feel of the game. Sengoku 2 is still a side-scrolling brawler where you pit your might and intellect against hordes of scoundrels. The highlight of Sengoku 1's combat, the transformation system, is also here, allowing you to transform into one of 3 different spirits to power yourself up if needed. It seems like a bog-standard sequel at first, but it only takes a single slash to feel immediate refinement. Consistency! Honest to goodness consistency! The days of pressing the punch button and missing for no reason are long gone! No matter which way your character slices, you'll always dice them if they're the right distance. This single fix ditches all the frustration of dice rolls in favor of putting you in full control of any fight. Any mistake you make is your fault, making fights infinitely more fulfilling no matter what your skill level. SNK didn't stop there though. Die-hard gamers wanted more depth out of their games after Street Fighter II blew the skill ceiling wide open with its complexity. So SNK advanced beyond one attack button to keep up. You can aim high or low in response to enemies guarding your attacks. If they're catching on to how often you're hitting their face, try going for their legs. It stirs normal action up to avoid repetition. But more importantly, you can block and deflect incoming attacks, giving yourself an easy way to turn emergencies around or buy more time until you have an opening to exploit. Those are just the basic moves. I haven't even touched the special moves, which the game's nice enough to show you in the tutorial. Holding down A, B, and C, or pressing B and C at the same time, gives you 2 more moves on top of your basic actions. That also change when you transform. Altogether, that makes 20 unique attacks you can employ without the aid of power-ups, giving 1993 gamers the most battle variety to toy with alongside Tower of Doom. Speaking of power-ups, the shiny orbs that give you more power also return, doing more than ever before. When you pick up a red or blue orb, you get to use different, often more powerful moves for its duration. Most of these just gave you bullets in Sengoku 1, and that returns when you have blue with the ninja. But now, you've got Dazzle like this tornado that makes you practically invincible as long as you keep jumping. And yes, you can use special moves to hang on to the yellow bomb longer, detonating it later to bypass more difficult fights. Every good game encourages you to bend the rules. The only sensation greater than enjoying a game is mastering it. Thanks to all the new moves, learning how to get high scores from survival has never been more self-gratifying. It's the most functional, least brainless time I've had with a 1993 game, solidifying my opinion that Sengoku 2 is the most standout beat-em-up to come before Shadow over Mystara and Devil May Cry 3. I normally talk about the visuals after I've sung my praise for stellar gameplay, but for this game, do I even need to say anything? The vibrant color in the background footage speaks for itself. Instead of drooling over every piece of eye candy, I'm going to compare it to Sengoku 1, which also oozed style. We are going from good to even better. I only need my character's idle animation to represent the artistic refinement. My mechanized dog flickers its tail and barks every once in a while when it gets impatient standing around. It makes the motionless dog in Sengoku 1 look like a cardboard prop in comparison. As for the theming, the places that you fight, it's not a matter of where we are anymore, it's when we are. This new monarch built a time machine to rewrite history, taking us to World War II and beyond after feudal Japan, leading to a far greater variety of venues compared to the first game, that picked the theme and ran with it. This setup isn't better or worse than Sengoku 1 is, since both games have great backgrounds, but I prefer the extra scenery beyond Japanese mythology. It makes every level stand out more compared to predictable Japanese scenery all the time. Plus, you get to slash Adolf Hitler in the face. Enough said. If I have any complaints about this game, there's one significant hiccup in cooperative play. Whenever there are two huge enemies to fight at once, the game has a tendency to lock the player's direction towards the one the game wants you to attack, which is lame for a game going heavy on tactics. I tried to sandwich this guy between me and my partner, but I died because the game forced me to turn the other way. What kind of crap is that? That's some wasted potential. I'd imagine two-player would be even more fun to play than it is if you were allowed to target whoever you felt like, similar to Final Fight. When you're allowed to dogpile on these grunts, it's so satisfying not giving them any chance to breathe. I just wish you could think of killer setups like that all the time. Nevertheless, that's only one blood smear on a sword blessed by the gaming gods. It's a near-flawless single-player game. Sengoku 2 gets an S-.